Hi everybody, this is the Phoenix Queen, and if this setting in any way looks familiar, it's because I did a vlog in here a few weeks ago, but I've got about an hour before I have to go to my evening job, so I'm just in here killing some time. I actually wanted to do this vlog last week, but I got sidetracked with a few things, and I kind of forgot to do it, but I didn't forget about it. And what I wanted to talk about was about expectations, the expectations we have, for ourselves, and how they affect our lives. And I got this idea because in my singles group last week, we're basically talking about how to balance ourselves, especially when it comes to our finances. But somewhere in there, it was mentioned about having expectations. And it got me to thinking about all the expectations that, I've set for myself, and that how others have set them for me, and how they've been affecting, my life so far. And growing up, like pretty much anybody, my parents had a lot of expectations for myself as well as my siblings. But I have to say, the way they went about it was usually kind of harsh. Sometimes they made it sound like, I guess you can, the way it came off was basically, sometimes and I'm only speaking for myself, I can't speak, of course, for my sisters or anything like that, but the way they came off was usually a bit harsh. And, I understand that they wanted us to, do the best that we could. But, I felt a lot of pressure from them, especially in school. I was definitely not a straight A student. One of my younger sisters was, but, I was definitely not the straight A student kind of person. I procrastinated with my studying a lot. I still do. I think that's just the thing with me. And, I thought my grades weren't the best. I never failed or anything, and I graduated high school on time, so that was good. But when my parents really didn't acknowledge, any of my good grades, not saying they never did, they did, but for the most part, I didn't get the best grades. And of course my parents weren't very happy about that, so, I felt that, I just wasn't good enough as far as school goes, because my sisters got higher grades, and of course my parents were really proud of them, and, that kind of hurt a bit, especially in math. Like, I sucked at math, I really did, but one day I brought home, what was it, an 85, and, I was, inside I was really happy. And my mom was looking over, our grades and everything. So, one sister, of course, she got an A, and she got praised for that. My other sister got an 89, which is, according to my mom, it was 1 point away from an A, so she was happy with that. But then she saw mine, and all she said was, oh, she got an 85. That was really upsetting for me. I was really hurt, because it was math. And I didn't make the best grades in math. I was lucky if I got away with a C half the time, which is pretty much what I just aimed for. Getting A's in math was rare for me. So to hear that, it just really hurt. It really did. Well, I said, throughout school, I never failed. I didn't get held back or anything. I graduated on time. It took me 3 tries to pass the math portion of the graduation exam, but I still passed on time. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That was rough. But, so as far as school went, the expectations my parents had, I can't say that I met them the way they would have liked them to be met, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as I graduated on time, I think that should have all that mattered. And in the end, I think it kind of did, even though my parents have never really said anything like that. And I don't think they ever will, because it's in the past. High school was like 10 plus years ago. But then, I went to community college, and I'm not gonna say my parents had really had any expectations for me there, other than to do well. And I had to pay out of pocket. That financial form, my parents didn't fill it out, so I had to get a loan from the bank. But that was for another school. Never mind. The one I'm talking about now, no, I paid for everything out of my own pocket. And so after one semester, I was running low on cash, so I decided that I would probably skip that until I can save up more money. And I was talking to a neighbor one day, and we were just talking casually, and he asked me how school was going, and yeah, I told him I was gonna stop going to school just for a little while so I can save up more money and give it another shot later. And he didn't tell me, he didn't say anything too much about it. He wished me luck and went on his way and everything. So later, I don't know if it was that day or a couple days later, I don't know, but my dad came to me and he was just blowing up at me because apparently he had run into my neighbor, and my neighbor had offered to pay for my semester. I didn't know anything about that, but my dad was absolutely furious about it. And the way he came at me was as if I had asked, for help, which I had. Like that, I had no idea he was going to do that for me. And honestly, if it happened, it would have been great. But apparently, my dad wasn't. Well, he was obviously not happy about that. He was really mad at me. So after that, I've never been too keen on asking anybody for help. When it comes to things like that, school finances or anything, where everyone says it's okay to ask for help, and I know that it is when when you really need it. But every time I think about doing it, that flashback of how my dad came at me really upsets me, and it makes me scared to ask for help because somehow I keep thinking that I'll be judged for it. And I'm pretty sure at this point in my life I won't be, or at least he wouldn't do it to my face. I don't really know. He probably would. With my dad, you think how he's going to act one minute, and then he may act a different way, or he may act exactly as you predicted. Who knows? But it does scare me when I have to ask for help with things that I should probably ask for a little bit of assistance, but I don't. And I try to figure out how to do it myself. But there's that part, when it comes to the expectations. I feel like my parents have always expected me to be able to do everything for myself, which isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with, being independent or anything, but there's also nothing wrong with asking for help every now and again. But like I said, sometimes when I try to, that flashback just comes right at me, and I feel like, if I ask for help with something big, and my parents found out about it, I don't know, I probably would get yelled at again, or at least, get talked down to. I don't know, which is kind of sad at my age, but, sometimes your parents, have that kind of an influence on you even into your adult years. So that's another thing. And my mom used to tell us that it all starts at home, and that's pretty much everything that you go through. Once you leave your parents' house and you begin to develop into your own person and begin to grow up and everything, your behaviors, your actions, it can all be traced to what went on back home, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And those expectations that my parents laid down for us, still affect me into, my adult years. And I find it a little upsetting because, I see my friends and my peers around me, the moving on with their lives. Like a lot of them they finished school, they have their, they have their careers, they're getting married, they're having their families, and a lot of them are a lot younger than me. Of course, when you live down south, that's pretty much a thing, getting married and everything really young. But with me, I'm sitting here pushing 30, and I feel so left behind. And because long ago I made expectations of myself, not so much. I would say they came along because of the things that my parents expected me to do. At my age, I had expected to already be done with school, have my career going, probably at this age even have gotten married and started my own family by now. Those are the expectations I set for myself based on what I felt my parents expected of me. And that's nowhere near how it is right now. I'm still working on school, and like way back when, I have to take another break, catch up on my finances a bit. I made a few mistakes and have found myself into a bit of debt. So I'm now actually working 2 jobs to try to lower that, and of course, paying bills and all that other kind of stuff that comes with being an adult. Like I said, I haven't finished school. I don't have a career yet. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I'm really passionate about, and what I thought I was passionate about. I don't know if it's that I've lost that passion, or if it's because there are just so many things going on in my life right now that I've lost focus. I don't really know yet. That's something that I'm still figuring out. And of course, I'm nowhere near to getting married yet. Not that I'm ready for it or anything. I still want that. I definitely still want to get married and have a family right now, but I'm not ready for it. I do want to at least try to get a date every now and again, but that seems to be a struggle too. But as far as marriage and kids goes, not ready for it. So I've just had to work hard. I've had to cut back on a lot of quote unquote luxuries that I had. And I feel really left behind, because I made expectations for myself years ago, based on what my parents, expected of me to do, and I feel like I really haven't. Well, I know I haven't. I haven't met those expectations. I don't know really what my parents have, are expecting of me anymore now that I'm an adult. But like I said, once you leave your family's house, you start making your own expectations in life, and you try really hard to reach those goals that you set for yourself. And it's pretty disappointing when you look at yourself and then you look at everybody around you and you see them moving on to places in life that you really wish that you could go to. And that's not a good thing. You can't compare yourself to others and the paths that they are on, because yours is going to be different from theirs. It's just, it's still a bit disappointing. But you really can't let these things bring you down like that. Your path is different from your friends. Your path is different from what your parents did. And you just have to keep going and, doing the best that you can, which is what I'm doing. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm, working. I'll be working on myself the rest of my life. That's for everybody. But, that diploma, that career, marriage, kids, that's all still in the plan the expectations I've set for myself. it's just taking me a little longer to get there than what I had originally hoped for. And, I keep telling myself, not to compare myself to what others are doing, but, every time I see somebody's graduation photos, or they're flashing their engagement rings, or I'm seeing, wedding photos and people having kids, I'm not gonna lie, I do get upset about it. It's not fun to look at, and I know this is why some people say, well, this is why you should stay off social media, but you know what? Social media has kept me in touch with a lot of old friends of mine, so it's not like it bothers me so much that I'm gonna throw a hissy fit and just delete my Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Because in the long run, I am happy for them. I'm happy that my friends are moving on with their lives and they're not stuck in a rut. But at the same time, I start looking at myself and wondering, what exactly am I doing with my life? And why haven't I gotten to where I'm supposed to be? And it's an everyday struggle, and I just have to keep reminding myself that just because they're succeeding doesn't mean that I have failed. Like I said, because their paths are different than mine. Maybe I have to work a little harder and a little bit longer before I'll be able to get to where exactly as I want to be in life. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I know what I want to do with myself, and I'm going to keep working at it. And I want you to remember that as well. If you're in a place where you feel as though you shouldn't be, and you're looking around and all your friends and family and your peers, they seem to be moving on and they seem to be enjoying themselves, try your best not to compare your life to theirs, because it's just going to make you feel worse about yourself. You need to look at where you are now and look at where you've been, because I'm pretty sure where you've been, you were probably a little worse off. A pastor named Joyce Meyer says, "I'm not where I need to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. I'm okay and I'm on my way." And I really try to remember that, because that's such a great quote. Because when I look back at where I used to be, it wasn't fun. It wasn't all that fun, especially back when I was going through renal failure. That definitely wasn't a fun year, and I'm glad it's over. I may not like where I am now, but some time ago it was worse. And I'm glad that I've been able to overcome that. And the best I can do for myself is just to keep pressing on, because every day is going to get better. Every day that I wake up, it's going to be a better day. Every day that, I'm able to get in my car and go to work it's a good day. Every time that I get my paychecks and I'm able to pay my bills little by little, it's a good day. The things may not be going as I currently want them to, but like I said, every day just gets a little bit better. And I just have to keep remembering that I may not be where I need to be, but just thank God I'm not where I used to be. And I'm really hoping that you can, incorporate that motto into your life as well. Whew. Well, that wasn't a lot. But yeah, so as far as expectations go, they're always going to be around. Someone's always going to be expecting something out of you, or maybe you're expecting, greater things out of yourself. But there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't compare yourself and the things you're going through with somebody else who seems to be getting ahead. Like I said, you're just going to feel worse about yourself, and that's not good. Just follow your own path and follow it to the best of your ability, because in the long run, you're going to look back and you're probably even gonna laugh, maybe. I might. You know, just do the best that you can. And I promise you, things will get better. I have to tell myself these same things. It's just, I said it, I'm just not where I want to be right now, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm okay and I'm on my way, right? So that's my vlog for today. Killed about what, maybe 20 minutes or so? A few more minutes and I gotta get ready to go to work. Gotta get those bills paid, right? So, thank you guys so much for taking time to watch my videos, and you know, I hope you've gotten something out of it. Because I just want to try to help people along. As I've said in my earlier videos, I definitely, don't want to come off as someone who knows everything. And, I'm going through this journey in life just the same as you are, one day at a time. And, any problems I have, any problems you have, they're going to come. They're going to come. And the best thing we can do is, is to push on and keep going. Because eventually, like I said, it'll get better. It always does. But thanks again, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And I'm going to get ready to get out of here. So, once again, thanks a lot. And as always, I want you to continue to rise, my Phoenix soldiers. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.